We're here at NAB 2018 at the Sound Devices booth with our friend Paul Issacs.
Great
Thanks,
to
Paul.
see you, Curtis.
Good to see you
How you
again.
doing?
Great. So last year we talked about MixPre.
Yes.
At that point you had the MixPre-3 and 6. We've got a few new things here. So let's talk first of all about the MixPre 10T.
Sure.
All right.
So the MixPre 10T actually started shipping around 5 months ago now, maybe an extra month from that. And basically that expands the family. And this 10T is a 12-track recorder with 10 inputs. It has the same Cashmere mic pre's that we have on the MixPre 3 and the 6, so the wonderful sounding mic preamps. We've got 2 additional line inputs on that, so that's your 10 inputs, and 2 extra tracks for your mix. The key thing here is we have a built-in timecode generator, a highly accurate timecode generator, up to the normal standards that you'd expect from sound devices. When you power down the unit, it'll retain timecode, so you don't have to rejam and boot up. It's got all the frame rate support, all the different timecode mode supports. Timecode supports. The timecode comes in and out on BNCs, and you can also configure those BNCs to be word clock as well, so you get to choose.
Okay.
So great timecode support here. Another addition compared to the MixPre 3 and 6 is, like the 3 and 6, you record to an SD card, but with the MixPre 10T, you also get to auto copy to a USB thumb drive.
Yep.
So that is like very cheap media.
That is. I actually have a set of those. I think they're $13 each, and that's brilliant because at the end of the mix or at the end of the production day, I can pop that out, and that's my delivery right there.
Yeah. So I mean that's an auto copy. It's not like simultaneous recording.
Right.
But for all intents and purposes, it's pretty much the same thing. You might find there's a few seconds or maybe a minute at the end of a day's shoot where it's playing catch up,
Yep.
but it's for all intents and purposes identical.
Yep.
So battery powering, we have a 4-pin Hirose input, so you can power from batteries still, like L-mount batteries and AA batteries, but having that 4-pin DC opens up a whole range of options there. As a USB audio interface, it's a 12-in 4-out device, so that's really cool. And having 8 mic pre's for your DAW system of this caliber is just a really sweet bonus feature, you know. So that's basically the overview of the MixPre 10T. It's got there's a lot of stuff like in there as well, like sound report creation, and it's got slightly enhanced metadata support too. And it can be controlled via Bluetooth as well. So that's an overview of that.
And this is, so just an interesting history. So we talked last year, I ended up with a MixPre-6 at first, and I actually upgraded to the 10T because this had just a number of features that I think are really critical. So for me, this is like my backup mixer now to the 633, or when I need to have a lot of inputs for a particular job. But the input for power, the backup media, the time code, all those things just made it a really brilliant backup mixer for me. So really nice work on that.
Glad it's working for you.
Yeah. One of the things I've noticed over time too is you guys have done a really good job updating the firmware, and it sounds like you have a little something new in the pipeline.
Yeah, not little actually. I think our existing MixPre 3, 6 and 10T users are going to be very happy with the new firmware that should be released tomorrow. It's version 2.10. And this offers a whole bunch of improvements, but the 3 key features on this are remix, cue markers, and expanded linking. Now the remix feature is really something that's never really been done on a field recorder of this nature before. And that is, imagine a scenario where you're doing an interview, maybe you have 2 interviewees and an interviewer, and you're recording away, and you finish the recording, you get back to your hotel room in the evening, and you play it back, and you listen to it, and you go, interviewee 1 was too low in the mix, he was too loud there, there's some rustling on a lapel mic there. This is bad.
Yeah.
Well, what Remix allows you to do is play back that file, and then remix that file using the faders.
Wow.
You can use the faders, pans, and mutes dynamically, and re-record that mix. You're not destroying the original mix.
Right, because
it's still there.
ISOs are still there.
Yeah, the ISOs are still there. So you're playing back your ISOs and remixing those ISOs to a new stereo WAV file.
Yep.
That stereo WAV file will have the original file name prefixed by a letter R.
Okay.
So it's a wonderful system, and I think it's going to save a lot of people's asses.
Yeah, it will, because I can't tell you how many times you sit in an interview and you miss a fade up at some point. Someone starts talking and you are late, or you missed it altogether, or whatever it is. Now I can fix it.
Yeah, and you can't call them back, so can we redo that interview? So
Right.
this is like a really cool feature, and it's also really great for music, recording music. We've got a nice demo over here where it's like a little jazz quartet with double bass, piano, voice, and guitar,
Yeah.
and we just captured it live, and now we've got the ability to play that back and adjust, do different mixes of that. It's really nice.
Yeah, excellent. Excellent. That is a huge,
Yeah.
huge
The other really nice feature, and this has been asked for us a lot by many different types of audio engineer, cue markers. So podcasters have asked for it, production sound, and so now during record or playback, you can hit this cue icon and it will lay a cue mark at that point of interest. You can then play back the file and very easily just jump to that cue mark. You can name these cue marks so you know what they're about. Like if there's a dog barking in the middle of an interview, you can give it that name.
Yeah.
If you place that cue mark slightly in the wrong position, you can adjust its position in tenth of a second steps.
Nice.
And if you don't want the cue mark, you can just delete it altogether.
Okay.
So that's a really nice feature. And the cue marks are embedded in the WAV file.
Okay.
We embed it in the standard cue chunk and the iXML chunk.
Okay. Excellent.
And the applications that read it are Adobe Audition, Reaper. There are others out there that do that as well, but I don't know what they are quite yet.
Okay.
So yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. It's two really great things.
Yeah.
What's the third one again?
The third one is we expanded the linking options.
Okay.
And you know we already had like linking of 1 and 2 or stereo and stereo MS. And I think in the previous version of firmware we added 1 through 4 linking, so you could work with an Ambio with one gain control.
Right.
But now we've expanded linking options to include 1 through 3, 1 through 4, 1 through 5, 1 through 6, 1 through 7, 1 through 8, and then you've got another. You can have 2 groups, so you could have 5 through 7 and 1 through 4. Or so
Anything, pretty much anything you need.
pretty much anything.
Okay, very good. And that comes tomorrow.
And that comes tomorrow. Oh, and with regards to that linking, there's 2 modes of linking. You can link fader only or all parameters. So fader only would be good for if you want to set different trims for the different sound sources within the group, like a mismatched pair of microphones, different microphones, so you could adjust different trims.
Yep. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. All right. That comes tomorrow. That is
Yes.
a free firmware.
Free
update?
firmware for all 3 models, 3, 6 and 10T.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you so much, Paul.
No problem, thanks a lot.